Hello loves, and welcome to another round of my tabletop TBR game, which is the game I created to play every month to figure out my TBR for that month or my to be read books. Today's episode is wild. Okay, let's start off with the points from last month. Last month was a bit of a doozy. So first off, I have one game board point from while I was playing last month. I've read 10,013 pages in February, so that gives me 10 points there. So I have 7 books that I completed for regular prompts from our regular game and my besties game. I have 2 books that I completed for a prompt with additional bonus prompt point, so that's an additional 4 points, bringing us to 11. And then I have 3 books that I used the bonus prompts on, so an additional 3 points, bringing us up to 14 card points. For my general bonus points, I ended up reading 3 books that are a continuation of series, 0 non-fictions, and 0 rereads, so I get an additional 3 points for my bonus points, which puts us at a total of 28 milestone points. So let's add those up. So I ended up getting 28 milestone points. A medium mode tracker has 25 slots. So instead of filling out 25 of these, I'm going to just have one marked as complete. So I will get the 10 milestones for completing one of these, and then I will put an extra 3 for the remaining 26, 27, and 28. Now, to make my life more complicated, for the 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 of these that I'm supposed to draw, I have combined the 2 decks so that I will get a mix of board prompts and reading prompts. And then I'm going to separate them again for the gameplay. Okay, so 1 is this instead, swap for a wild, and I will be using these next game, not this game. Next one, move 2 spaces, move +1 space. Let's re-roll that. And the last one is a book with LGBTQIA+ rep. So now to the last things. Because of this, I do get 10 points for completing a milestone tracker board, and I also get an additional 5 points for reading the 25% mark of my 100 book goal. I get an additional 5 points, so 15 milestone points. I was also 1 away from hitting the half point. I am currently at 49 books read so far this year, so I don't think there's going to be an issue with me hitting my 100 book goal. I might have to up it at some point. My total for the month is 33 books, bringing my total round points for February to a whopping 76 points. This is the first time I have reached that goal since doing all of this, so that's friggin' exciting to me. And I'm interested in seeing if we can beat that record next month, because you're gonna see, you are going to see. So let's get into figuring out what I'm gonna be reading in March. First off, let's pick, okay, this is a busy, one less to read, but you still get a point. I already have one of these, so that's not super useful. Anyway, let's start. So first roll, we have a double. So that means that we are going to be getting another book pick for the month. So that is 8. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, which is a re-roll, so we can get further on the board. And I believe I'm using this as a point. So we already get a point. Okay, so we have 1 board point. Okay, and then for our re-roll, a 2 and a 3, so 5. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. So a TBR jar pick. Okay, so for our first roll, we ended up getting the TBR jar. This is mixed with books I'm excited about, not super excited about, and most of them do give me additional points since I'm picking them at random. So let's see the prompts that I have in here. Okay. Oops, I got 2. Oh. I don't know if you can see that, but the first book is A Million Junes by Emily Henry, and I get a +3 points for completing this book because I had to choose it randomly. So this one is supposed to be a thriller mystery, I think, and it says, for as long as Jack, June O'Donnell, has been alive, her parents have had only one rule: stay away from the Aggart family. But it sounds like she ends up running into them anyway, and sparks fly. So I wonder if it's kind of a Romeo and Juliet sort of situation. It looks like there's magic, ghosts, and toy wolves, and some sort of curse that has plagued one of their bloodlines for generations. And it gets her questioning her family and the things she's been told and stuff like that. So sounds interesting. It's been on my shelf for a long time though, so hopefully I will enjoy it. Next roll. Okay, a 5 and a 2, so 7. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. A regular prompt. This one is a book with an animal on the cover. Next up, we have the prompt animal on the cover, and I wanted to take the time to read some of the books that I have for my 2023 A through Z challenge. And so I'm actually gonna go with the book Zoo by James Patterson and Michael Ledwig, because it has an animal eye on the cover, which I think counts, and it works for the letter Z. This book is basically about animal attacks and violence going rampant, somebody noticing this happening and trying to alert the leaders of the world so that people can be cautious and aware that animals are not behaving the way that they normally do. I'm excited, a little nervous, we'll see. All right, next roll, a 2 and a 1. Oh my goodness. 1, 2, 3, another regular prompt. This one, a book published in 2020. Next prompt is a book published in 2020. And again, trying to focus on my 2023 A through Z challenge TBR, I decided to go with You Deserve Each Other by Sarah Hogel. And this, I'm pretty sure, is a romance about two people who are going to get married, and they start having a bunch of issues with each other and decide that they're gonna call it off. But whoever calls it off has to pay for the wedding. And so they start, I guess, like doing pranks and weird things against each other to try and push the other one over the edge so that the other one will call it off. And in the process of doing it, they start falling for each other again. And so it's kind of a second chance, enemies to lover-esque romance. And I think it's going to be really cute and silly and fun, and hopefully I end up enjoying it. I feel like I've gotten these recently. Let's just do a quick reshuffling here. All right, next roll, a 6 and a 2, so 8. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. Just missed a double prompt. So for this one, we have a book with a BIPOC main character. Okay, so for our next pick, it is a BIPOC main character, and I'm gonna go with Mirage by Somaya Douad. This is a fantasy romance, I think. And it says, the crown of Dia had been stripped from me. My face changed, my body broken, but I was not a slave and I was not a spare. I was my mother's daughter, and I would survive and endure. I would find my way back home. And this is the first book that is part of a series, so I wanted to start it so that I can continue on. There's also a line here that says her own face was the enemy. So yeah, interested in seeing how this goes. Okay, next prompt, a 3 and a 1. 1, 2, 3, 4. All right, a 5-star prediction. All right, next one is a 5-star prediction. Now this one, I'm predicting that I'm either going to love it or I'm gonna like be super bored. So I don't know if it's maybe the best one to pick, but I've been super excited about this book, and I'm so happy that I'm finally going to get around to reading it, and I hope I enjoy it. I've seen a lot of mixed reviews. Some people really like it, some people don't. I think I might be in the camp that gives it 5 stars, but we will see. And that is Babble by R.F. Kuang, which is a dark academia book about a BIPOC character who is brought into the higher education system in the language department and who deals with a lot of colonialism and racism and inequalities at the school, and we get to hear it from his perspective, and I think a couple other characters as well. Obviously, there's a lot of commentary in here, and there is a love for language and learning, which I'm very interested in reading about and hope that I enjoy it and things don't completely go over my head. So we will see, because it is a chunker. And possibly our last roll, unless we get another double, is a double. Okay, so we're gonna get another roll after this, and this is a 12. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12. Ooh, I almost got a demotion. Okay, so that worked out. So for this prompt, we have a wild card, which I can pick whatever I want to read, and I don't have to pick it now. So we'll just move on to the next prompt. Again, possibly our last prompt, unless we roll another double. I go from basically never rolling doubles since I added the second dice to just roll, like, this is okay. All right, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, and 6. Another TBR pick. Okay. All right, another TBR jar pick. Hopefully the jar does me good. Let's see what we get this time. I did make sure to just include books that I have access to right now because I'm on a mini book buying ban for the next couple of months as I do my taxes and see how much I owe for all of the things that happened last year. So, let's see. Okay, this time we got If I Was Your Girl by Meredith Russo, which I get 2 points for completing this one. I'm really excited about this. It is a coming of age story, I believe, about a character who is trans and them having to kind of fight through that and deal with, I think, possibly being outed at a new school or something like that. Or, oh no, them going to a new school, falling for somebody, and then being afraid of what they're gonna do because they are passing and they obviously need to tell this person, but they don't want to risk being outed and being ostracized once again since they have this chance for a new start. So it's going to be a tough one. It's going to be heavy hitting and hard, but I feel like it's going to be really meaningful and a really good book. So we will see. Possibly our last round. I'm not going to say it. I'm not going to say it again. Oh my goodness. You guys, this is unreal. How is this happening right now? Okay, 2 5s. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, and 10. It's a regular prompt and another bonus around point. Or board point, sorry. This one, there's another good one. Take a break. No book added, but you still get a point. So I am just going to put this at the bottom of the deck and add my 3rd board point. Or should that be a card point? Since I'm resolving it during the board game play, I think I'm going to count it as a board game point. So we have 3 board points so far. And again, possibly our last roll. There's no way. There's no way I'm getting another double. So this is the last one. No! If this wasn't on camera, I wouldn't believe it. Okay, so 1, 2. This is insane. How did I get another wild card? Okay, so Well, at least with all these doubles, I'm getting easy ones. So another wild card, pick whatever you want to read. Not going to choose now, so let's go to our last roll. Come on, universe, this has to be our last roll. What is happening? I've been like begging for doubles for months. And last month was the first time I got one. And now I've gotten what, like 5? Okay, last roll. Come on. Okay, whew. Jeez. Okay, a 9. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, and it's a double. Wow, I knew this game was way too nice to me and that someday it was gonna have to give. I've had the easiest games and now it's okay. First one is a book by a new author. For this one, I ended up getting 2 prompts, and the first one is a new to me author. Since I am going to be going into the dark academia realm and finally picking up Babble, and I will also be reading the Atlas 6 for the Besties Book Club and for a previous prompt. Why don't we just go all in? And for a new author, I'm gonna go with Donna Tartt with The Secret History. As I've had this on my shelf for a while, I've been saving it for a Dark Academia reading vlog. This is one of the original Dark Academia books where we have a group of students at a higher education institution who are kind of all uppity up and wealthy, and we have one character who is not as wealthy as the rest, who kind of gets taken into the group for one reason or another. Someone ends up dying, and then we have to kind of figure out what happens and how things are resolved. I am excited and also really nervous about this one, but I do think it's going to be fun doing a dedicated Dark Academia vlog. So if you are excited for that, stick around, because either later this month or sometime next month, that will be out for you. And the last one is a non-Western based book. And then the second prompt for our last and final roll, which is non-Western, and I decided to go with Violet Made of Thorns by Gina Chen, which is one of my fairy loot fantasy books. And this one says, Violet is a prophet and a liar. So it sounds like she lies to get her way for certain things, but the king asks her to falsely prophesize a specific love story thing, and in the process, a dreaded curse is awakened, and it leads to a journey, I think, between both of the characters, mainly Violet trying to overcome what has happened and what she's triggered. And it sounds interesting and exciting. I don't know if this is going to be a fantasy romance or not, but regardless, it does sound fun, and I do think the cover of this edition is gorgeous. So I'm glad to finally be reading some of my special editions, because I'm racking them up and not reading them. Okay, so the last thing we need to do is pick our 5 bonus cards that we can use for the month. So first up, I get 2 bonus points if I read a sci-fi. I get 1 bonus point if I read a book from a different culture. I get 1 bonus point if I read a book from this current year. I get another bonus point for reading a book focusing on a BIPOC character or by a BIPOC author. And last one is I'll get a bonus point for reading a mystery. All right, and there you have it. All of the books that I ended up getting for this round. I cannot believe I rolled so many doubles. That's friggin' insane. That has never happened. Literally the only other time in the past like 6 to 8 months that I've been rolling 2 dice that I've got a double was once last month. So I guess the universe has been saving all of the rolls for this month specifically. Yeah, this was a wild friggin' ride. I just don't even know how to express I don't know, but fortunately we don't have anything big and crazy going on. I am planning on doing a Dark Academia vlog sometime based off of the readings, and everything else is just going to be based off of what we have here. I do also have 2 picks that I did for my besties, which I will be sharing with them later. And then I have 7 bonus point prompts. But yeah, I hope you enjoyed this vlog. If you made it this far, include a glasses emoji or a book emoji to represent academia, higher learning, reading books, and all that good stuff. Let me know if you've read any of these down below, what you got, if you ended up playing a round of Tabletop TBR, and all of these will be linked down below as usual, and I will catch you in the next video. Until then.